In our last video, we talked about doing the job Jesus gave us, doing the job of making disciples, teaching them to obey, and to multiply more disciples who do the same. And over the next few sessions, we're going to go through a variety of simple, practical tools to help us do that better. But before I start, I wanted just to talk about something that I've observed, having done lots of trainings in a lot of places, and I call it the cycle of inaction. And here's how it goes. We know we should be making disciples, but we're nervous about it. And we don't feel like we know what we should be doing. And so we think, well, I need some training. And then we go to some training and we learn some things. And we come out of the training, but we don't really feel confident that we can do a good job doing the things we've learned. So we probably don't implement them. And after a few weeks, we forget what we learned. And then we're right back where we started, which is we know we should be making disciples, but we don't feel like we're competent to do it. We don't feel like we know what we're doing, and we think we need some training. And I've been a believer for 40-some years now, and I personally have repeated that cycle of inaction again and again and again, where I felt inadequate, I got training, I didn't practice, soon I felt inadequate again, and I got more training. Let me tell you how we avoid this. I am giving you permission right now to be a bad disciple maker. Because if you want to be a good disciple maker, you're first going to have to do it not that well. That's how it is with anything. If you play a musical instrument, you know when you started, you were terrible. If you play a sport, you know when you started, you were terrible. So with almost anything, if you want to be good, you've got to be bad first. And so what that means is for you to grow as a disciple maker, you're going to have to be willing to practice these things even though you don't feel comfortable doing them. And as you practice, you will gain competence and confidence and feel more and more comfortable. But there's no way of avoiding that. There's no way of avoiding that time of feeling uncomfortable because you're not an expert. And here's the way I think about it. Right now, our friends and family, our neighbors who don't know Christ, they're gradually marching towards eternal judgment. Now, if nobody shares the gospel with them, that's where they're going. That's the status quo. That's what exists. Now, if I share the gospel badly with them, they may not receive it, in which case they're right where they are right now. But they might. And so for me, the biggest mistake in evangelism and discipleship is not doing it badly. The biggest mistake is not doing it. Inaction is the greatest mistake we can make. And in order to avoid that trap, we're going to have to push through a time of discomfort and practice these skills. And first we'll practice with each other, but in the end, we're going to have to practice with real people who don't believe what we're saying in order to gain the confidence to do it regularly and to feel more comfortable at it.